Test one. Hey, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another music production live stream with me, Human Synthetics. I hope you're good. What's on the menu this evening? Well, this evening I'm going to be chopping some breaks, I think. Well, I'm going to be doing that. We'll get into the thick of it in a minute. I'll talk a bit about my workflow of late, my breaks workflow of late, and what I've been up to and kind of what I'm working towards. Which is another sample pack, really, and also kind of exploring some deeper breakbeat aspirations that I have. So I'm just going to kind of show you my process at the moment and what I've been working on lately and kind of my workflow for it all, which is probably quite insightful, I think, if you're wanting to do something like this yourself. Hey, Aaron. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I was hoping to be live yesterday, but I had a filling in my tooth and I was dead from the end of the day, so. Yeah, that's on the roadmap for this evening. We're going to be in Ableton. We're going to be chopping some breaks. We're going to be doing hopefully some interesting stuff that you can take away and put into your own practice. And this is really what I've been up to the last few weeks or so, kind of getting started with this project. I will talk a bit about in more detail about exactly what's been happening and stuff in here. But first of all, I have to say welcome and thank you to my newest patrons, which I do at the start of every stream, every kind of regular stream. And yeah, I've got a few to shout out. Got Young Liberals 420. What a good handle. Welcome, Young Liberals. Thanks for your support on Patreon. Got Joe. I feel like we've got a Joe already. Welcome, Joe. Good to have you in the fold. Machine Made Man. I like that one. It's good. Welcome to the Human Synthetics Patreon credits list. Oro2G, I guess that's how that's pronounced. John, welcome and thank you for your support on Patreon. And Aaron 303. So that's you, Aaron. Yeah, I think your handle's slightly different now, but thanks so much for your support on there. Really appreciate it. Hope you're getting to grips with the packs and stuff after our exchange. Yeah, really appreciate everyone who supports me and follows me on Patreon. All the links are in the description, whether you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube, so you can go and check out what's on there. I do post I've got quite a lot of you can go on there and join as like a free member, and you get kept informed whenever I post anything. So it's I really love Patreon. I really love how the platform works and stuff, and it's great to be able to keep people informed whether or not they're kind of pledged and subscribing or not about new things that I'm sharing on there. There's also products in the shop and all that stuff. I think everyone knows how it works, so you can go and have a look at the membership levels and stuff if you're interested. Yeah, lots of downloads, lots of break stuff, Ultimate Breakbeat template, pure breaks, all of that stuff. Go and have a look. Pretty self-explanatory, really. But if you're into my stuff and you want to say thanks, it's a great way to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who supports me there. Cheers. Yeah, good to have you. Okay, so what are we going to be doing this evening? I've actually wanted to do this for a while, for a couple of weeks now, but it's quite it's quite like an intense, geeky process, I guess you could say. And I was also feeling quite unsure about my process and how I was doing things and stuff like that. So I'll just kind of break down what we're looking at here, which is the project's called Mutant Breaks, okay, and this is working towards another sample pack that I want to make, I am making and want to put out some point next year. So I put out a video recently, my ultimate Ableton Breakbeat template, which did pretty well. And that really was like the culmination of a kind of how the way I've been working, and a showcase of everything that I've kind of done up until this point. And now I want to go a little bit further, or try to go a little bit further. And essentially, I want to go back, revisiting kind of the library of all the break beats that are out there, and all the samples that you can get and stuff like that, and kind of revisit my workflow. I think I've got videos, of course, about how I have done it in the past, and my process is always changing. It's always something that I'm kind of revisiting and tinkering with, and sometimes I do things in a different way. But now I'm wanting to kind of go back and like take and really, I don't know, maybe work with some breaks that I've not used before, and take kind of little slices of those and really get into kind of working with lots of different breaks, combining them into kind of new samples and new patterns, new loops and stuff like that, inspired by the likes of DJ Crystal, whose tearing breaks sample packs I really admire, and they just sound kind of next level to me. And hearing those, you kind of realizes there's a gap between kind of what you're doing and the sound you're after. And I think, of course, paradox as well, but I think with like a lot of drum and bass and stuff like that, I listen to the drums and the loops and stuff that are in drum and bass that you get from sample packs and everything, and I do think to myself, like, honestly, I wouldn't know how to make those from scratch, and I do want to try that. So really, that's kind of what we're doing here: drum funk, jungle, drum and bass, breakbeat, maybe even garage as well, if we're working at different tempos. But it could be, I don't know. I'm at the beginning of the process here, so I feel like I'm exploring lots of different ways of working and testing out lots of new stuff. And I'm probably going to be doing this over a few streams, I think, as and when I feel like I want to work on it in front of people and stuff. But really, you know, this is the kind of project so far. So basically, I've been taking slices from lots of different breakbeat samples, just whatever comes to hand really, and kind of making, you know, it's really been quite intricate work up until this point, and I've been refining the process already a little bit. You know, I've been working in audio with snippets of stuff, and, you know, trying to do stuff like that's maybe unquantized, or I haven't used warping, and I'm just relying on kind of changing the pitch, processing all these layers, then processing them all together, and kind of really rebuilding stuff from scratch. And this is really fun for me at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. And also kind of just having fun experimenting with processing and workflows and stuff like that, as in, you know, there's really just so much stuff that I've been messing with. Like, do I process things before I chop them, and do I chop things and then process them? Do I process, you know, do I process on the master bus with the effects on the return channels and stuff like this, or do I process on the group? And then just lots of stuff, and hopefully me working on it will highlight and add some more detail to what is no doubt sounding like the ramblings of a madman a bit. Hey, distant lands. How are we doing? But yeah, so we've got. I will kind of like just play some demo some of the loops and stuff, and maybe I'll do that in a bit, and I'll do that now or in a bit. Basically, I've been working on this one today and yesterday, and I feel like I'm kind of having some good breakthroughs. You know, I've been working with audio, and now I've started to pull things in, just kind of like to a drum rack, or I don't know. I'm at the beginning of like what feels like new ground to me a little bit, and I believe with anything like this, when you're trying to do something new, you're trying to learn something new, or you really don't know what the path is, then the only way to do it is kind of walk it. You know, you've just got to do it, and you've got to keep doing it until you feel like you're building your own understanding around it. And I feel like a lot of music is like that. It's a practice thing. Yeah, okay. Do have my notes here. So we've got a few other tools open. We've got Iced Audio Finder, which is grooving in G uses, and he turned me on to that, and I feel this could be really useful for when you're kind of when you're working with a lot of samples and you're kind of making fresh stuff and just keeping organized with the things you've been making, and being able to like kind of rate stuff and tag stuff is very useful. So here are some of the breaks I've already been putting in a playlist, and that is the process I'm going to show you tonight. We're going to build a break from scratch, new. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll probably spend far too long processing stuff, and then at the end we'll kind of end up with a looped sample, with a sample that I can add to the potential list of breaks that's going to make it into this sample pack. I've also got Twisted Wave Audio Editor, which I'm loving for working with samples and for sampling stuff out of Ableton. It has some really cool features which, you know, if only Ableton had, like delete silence and kind of batch processing or exporting. So yeah, we'll come on to how all this is working as I kind of work through and show you stuff. So yeah, there we go. Hey, Beat Specific, how are we doing? So this is what I've been working on today anyway, at least. So that kind of gives you a flavour. All of this is kind of built from slices from Funky Mule and Cold Sweat, and also just a Cool and the Gang NT. I don't know what that is, but yeah, and I've kind of everything's in a drum rack, right? And stuff is largely chopped individual slices without any warping, and I've kind of messed around some of them messed around with the pitch, and then everything is processed individually. So as we work through, you'll kind of see what I'm doing and what I'm doing intuitively, using a lot. I'll talk through the effects I'm using and everything like that. We've got some processing on the master bus, and we've also got some like effects going on as well for all the various slices of the break. There's also been some the working title for this pack is Mutant Breaks, right? So I'm after a bit of like early stuff, I was like, these aren't sounding very mutant-y. They sound, you know, so you can kind of hear maybe in some of these earlier ones. In fact, I'll play them from here. You can hear they're not necessarily too mutated in Natural Selector. So all of these are just built from scratch with various different slices of various different samples of drums from lots of different sample drum breaks. Quite a few of these mutant things. Quite like these ones. I was quite pleased with these. Considering I've never really made anything like this from scratch, these kind of liquid light drums. Like that, it's quite cool. So I feel like you get the idea. And that's kind of what we're going to be making. I feel like they've got more, they a bit more mutanty now. And of course, in this project, I've got all of the slices of all of these drums. So I'm thinking maybe in time, I might kind of resample all of them, all of the hits and stuff, and make some kind of custom racks, custom drum racks with all of these patterns in, you know, these kind of MIDI patterns that you can then just switch the drums around, like the kicks and the snares and the shuffles and the hats and cymbals and kind of percussion. You can just use a macro to change those. Whether or not that works, that's just kind of a loose idea. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, really. But this is the one I've been working on this morning. Okay, so yeah, all of these are like slices from these free breaks. Icon, Tina Turner, Funky Mule. I think the kick is from there, and then snares and hats from that break too, as well as James Brown's Cold Sweat and Kool and the Gang NT. I've got that down as a give me for not knowing that. But anyway, there's all these kind of various patterns, and then we've got these kind of glitchy stuff as well to add to it. And we'll go through the process of creating this. And there's a hell of a lot of processing on the master bus, which is including the effects as well, so things like the reverbs and everything. It's essentially like the break has been mastered. So what I might actually do now is just like resample this, and then we'll start building something from scratch, and I'll kind of show you how I'm getting these out of Ableton. Should I do that, or should I do something from scratch first? Yeah, I'm just going to do that. So they're quite loud, those cold sweat bits, but okay, so with the other ones, I've actually done a lot of the stuff on the timeline, which is potentially better because I've got all these various patterns here. I'll tell you what we're going to do, right? I'm just going to take this master bus processing because I'm going to chop something first. I'm just going to put it on the break channel that we've been working on. I'm going to turn it off because there's quite a lot of processing going on. It's taxing the computer a fair amount. And I'm just going to use these later return channel. What I'm worried about is that some of the return processing is I'm going to kind of overwrite it. Got these various reverbs on. Again, you'll see me come to using these. So I'm just going to delete these, and we'll create some new return channels, and we can keep these for our Mutant 7 break. So put those there. Cool. Okay. It sounded pretty tight, I think. So, okay, we've got a return channel set up. Another thing I have is just like these blank drum patterns on kind of like an 808 emulation. This really cool beat shaker. It's worth saying that Isotonic Studios, where I get a lot of this stuff, I am an affiliate artist for Isotonic Studios. But they've got a really good Black Friday sale on at the moment till next week. And if you sign up to the newsletter, they've got more deals as well, kind of just for the newsletter only, 30% off site-wide. And if you watch my stuff, and you have done for a while, then you will have seen me using quite a fair amount of Isotonic devices, particularly things like Mono, the Ned Rush Lucky 16 devices, and all the DJ Crystal breaks and stuff come from Isotonic. So it's a good deal if you're looking to spend some cash over Black Friday. Personally, I already bought Pigments, which were better than half price on Arturia. That was another great deal. So okay, what am I doing? But check out Isotonic. I'll do another shout out next week for them too. Okay, so this is Iced Audio Finder, essentially like an audio manager, an audio asset manager, sample library asset manager. And you can create your own playlists, and you can do various things to organize your audio samples on your computer. And I have, this kind of sample prep project is called Mutant Breaks, and I've also got this kind of playlist of raw material where I've gone through some some of my breaks that I've got in my sample library and just picked out ones that I've not worked with before, or that have interesting features that I'd like to sample and manipulate. So that is what we're going to do. We're just going to find something, and we're going to get to work chopping it. And really, this is a process that's like iterative. I don't do the same thing every time necessarily, and I'll be refining it and thinking of new things as I go. And I'd encourage you to do the same with anything like this. You're working with making presets or making music or anything. Just rinse and repeat. When you think you understand something, just keep going, because that's when you get to the good stuff in a way. So I've got these samples here. We'll just try and find something down the list maybe. I expect I'll get copyrighted for this. So if you're watching this back afterwards and I edit it, I'll probably get rid of the samples, but you can see them here. You can see what I'm using. That's quite interesting because it's got like a nice shuffle. It's also got a nice snare there. That's atmosphere dancing in outer space. It's got a kick there. I've used a lot of these before. That's quite good. Cold grits, it's your thing. Okay, we'll pull that in because it's got a nice kick in that. Actually, I think, yep, okay. So just drag that over. Nice. Okay, put that up here. Probably use that as well. This is cool. This Curtis Mayfield moving up. I'm not necessarily sure how I would use that, just because it's got a lot going on. But it could be. There's been a few interesting things I've been doing with like stuff like side chaining it to the kick and side chaining it to the snare and using and like isolating the right or the left of the sample and stuff like this. So it really depends as I'm working on it how it ends up working out. But the goal tonight is to get one sample out, one new sample that we've made. It's got some nice bongos in. I feel like doing something with bongos again because I'm into them. Okay. So search. I'm still getting used to using this, but I feel like it could just be really useful for stuff like this. I'm just going to drag these over as samples here. Okay, why not? We'll just see what we end up using. Maybe we'll pull in another break. Nice, big fat snare in that. All right, that's enough to go with. Okay, so I've just pulled it onto the drum rack, and it's pulled in as a simpler here. So I guess the first thing I want is a kick, and yeah, we've already got these patterns set up, these kind of blank patterns. I'll just play them for you. Okay, you know. Yeah, you get the idea. There are lots of kind of just like D&B patterns or jungle patterns that when I was working like kind of with the like slice by slice audio here, just on the timeline, which was just a bit painstaking. It was a bit too, I was kind of losing the will a bit working that way. So there may be a call to go back to that particular approach, you know, where you're just dealing with audio and you are. And really, it's whatever method works for you. But anyway, I was needing to line up the kicks and the snares without a kind of without any kind of pulse, or because I don't really want to work with. I'd like these to sound completely new and like unrecognizable in a way, but still have retain that kind of flavor of being a sample. So I use these as kind of guides, these template patterns. And they're actually quite useful to just drag and drop when you've got some stuff going on already. So a kick first. See, that's a nice kick here. So just come right in. I mean, which one's better, that one? Slightly heavier, that second one, but the sound of it. I mean, that looks like it's okay. Get right in, and we'll just go with lights. Great, I love that pattern. Okay. Now, in the past, you might have seen me like mapping stuff and having a bit of a workflow and a process, but this is still experimental, so I'm not necessarily mapping anything or doing warping, or there's no particular set way of working here right now. This is experimental for me, at least. So you can hear it's like cut off a bit. So either I could lengthen the MIDI note here, or I could increase the release. I'm also kind of looking at where these are hitting on span, where the kick's hitting. They're probably about here for like the fundamental, like around 80, which is good. That should be fine. Sometimes they're just too high, the kicks, and I would like them to have a bit of like D&B kick weight. You know. We might need to layer it and we might not. See. The first thing is kind of getting a framework pattern with the slices, and then we can just dig into the processing and fine tune it. So what else have we got in here? I'll just copy this over. We might have a snare. Well, we definitely do have a snare. What else have we got? Just got my MIDI keyboard here. That's nice. It's like a nice loop in its own right. Got a hi-hat there. That could probably be good as like a shuffle. What I actually might do is I'm just going to pull over like a copy of it and see if I can just time or make it work as a loop, just as one piece of audio. What's it called? Decode. These in order. Cold grits. Yeah. It's got quite a lot of top end, doesn't it? Killed your key. It certainly would. I reckon we could like beef that up a bit, as you'll see. So, I mean, really, when it comes to like any, it's kind of amazing what you can do with processing and stuff with like any audio source, and you can just make it sound like completely different. Right, so let's just deal with this pattern because I want to hear what the features are like if I Okay, 1, 2. So it kind of starts on this kick here, yeah. Got loads of nice things in this. Loads of nice features. Right, what's that doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is it? even know if that's a good perfect loop there. Is it here? Is it starting here? If not, I'll just start it here. Kind of need to hear the rest of the song. I don't know this tune. Okay. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a bit more obvious what's going on there. So maybe we can count backwards. I'll just keep playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. But that's the 4 there. That's the 1 on that symbol there. Is it just from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Yeah, it's kind of like a weird. You can kind of hear the pulse there, even if it's off beat. Good drumming. Let's just line it up there. That's fine. Just crop this. All right, now that should be 2 bars. So if we warp that, and we could maybe make it repitch, and it's going to be, if I just kind of find the last thing and put it here, that'll probably be good enough. And now it'll probably sound awful. Yeah, exactly. Even though it isn't too fast as far as I could, is it? 1, 2, 3. Cool. So I don't think we will work with it like that, but you have to kind of hear these things to test it. But we could take advantage of this shuffle here. That's on this. All right, we've got a nice hat there. Let's carry on. We've got like a kind of ghost snare. It is, isn't it? It's kind of chunky. Mr. Grooves. Yeah, thanks. I did see that this morning. Thank you. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I also saw your reply to my post on YouTube too. Sometimes I get I see these things at work when I'm like listening to tunes or something like that, and I know that if I reply, I'm just going to fall down a YouTube hole and end up just like looking at my channel metrics and stuff like this. So, thanks, yeah. Caden YT, I certainly do, yeah. Who's doing deals that I mentioned Isotonic Studios a moment ago, and if you give me a sec, I'll pull up some stuff. So Isotonic Studios, there's a lot of stuff I really like on there, and they've got 30% off site-wide. They've also got these like limited edition like packs as well. Really love the mono stuff. I've been using the Curves EQ from mono all over this project, all over these breaks and stuff. It's a great. Well, if I show you on this kick actually, but mono has the 30% off site wide, and they have these other bundle things that they're doing. I'm an affiliate artist for Isotonic Studios, just to make that clear, but also I use a lot of the stuff from there all the time, particularly these. There's these Beat Shaker packs, which you will have seen me using loads before, and they've got more of these now. And I downloaded them the other day. These are analog and electro packs, and the UK garage ones by 510k Sounds. That, like, if you're making garage or like grime even and stuff like that, I love them for that. They're absolutely great. The garage kits are so tight and useful. They also have like the DJ Crystal stuff on there, which is really good. I can highly recommend that 510k. Let's have a look. I think it's Alex Kidd who makes it or is behind it. They've also got loads of other. Let's find it. Beach 510k. I can never find it on here. We will. So this is the one I got yesterday, Beat Shaker. But like they're Max for Live devices, right? So they use Max for Live. They're based around a drum rack, but essentially you can just put these patterns in, and then you can hit this switch. If I show you here, we got some stuff here. These are great. If I just put the garage kit in, like I say, you do need Max for Live because it makes use of this Max for Live kind of panel here. And then you can just hit this shake button. They're really good. I've used those a hell of a lot. And they've got like this new electro and analog one as well, which is good for techno and stuff like that. And electro for electro, obviously. But these are great. These are some of my favourite drum devices, actually, because you can drag the drum rack in. You're not overwhelmed with options, and then you can just hit this shake button. You can fine tune it as well with the Max controls here. You know. Great. Into that. Because sometimes when you're just having a jam or something like that and you want to switch things up, it's great. That's just so handy to be able to do that. But it does require Max for Live. Also, Arturia have a great set of Black Friday stuff on, and I treated myself to Pigments, and I've really been enjoying Pigments a lot. Yeah, Max for Live comes with Suite. Max for Live. So I believe, Mr. Grooves, that you can do pretty much everything in Max for Live as you can in Max, or at least a lot, enough to certainly build your own stuff. But yeah, it is limited on certain features. Ned Rush is the person to ask about that. Yeah, that's it. Alex Kidd, UKG Beat Shaker. I've used that a ton. And of course, you're not just confined to garage and stuff with it. You can use it for all sorts of stuff. It's got some really nice, like, stick hits. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a term for that that's better than that. Oh, But when the drummer doesn't hit the snare on the top, they hit it on the side, or just like they lay the stick on the drum and they tap the side. Okay, it's gone, but. Yeah, you can see that being a like tune already, can you? Layer it with some of the breaks as well. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of isotonic stuff, and I've been using it for years as well because it's all Ableton stuff and it's all Mac stuff, and they do a really good job of like curating good releases and good developers and stuff. And Ned Rush's stuff is on there as well. His Ned Effects devices are sick. Rimshot, thank you. Yeah, I just couldn't think of it there. Yeah, thank you. The good rim shots are hard to come by, actually. You know, sometimes I don't want a rim shot that's too transient. You know, too like hurts your ears whenever you hear it. Bruxisma, the packs. So, do you know that I don't. They don't show up here for you. Is that it? Packs have just always been there for me, and they don't show up in this bit for you. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Is that like a settings feature? God, I don't know about that. Installation folder for packs. It could be a location thing, maybe. Only Abletons. Okay. Well, I would say that's a good point, because like not all of the stuff on Isotonic, for instance, which is a third party Ableton software provider, Ableton tool provider, not everything on Isotonic will show up as a pack here. But if you've got these, for instance, and they're not showing up, yeah, that's a good point. Show file extensions? No, I won't do it. But if for instance, if it is just Ableton ones and like you've downloaded something from like say these Beatshake packs and they aren't showing up, only Abletons. You're on Mac, Windows? Installation folder for packs. I mean, what I would say is that some of these packs open like they don't show like they open as just the projects or whatever. They don't always have the. This has always confounded me as well, because obviously like these come as Ableton Live packs, but like only some of them integrate with the packs here, and I'm stumped. I'm stumped. Could be worth it. God, I don't know. So are you on my Discord? Because I haven't been in my Discord for a while, and I keep meaning to go and like check in and make sure no one's posting hate speech and stuff. But it could be worth posting. It could be worth posting there. I'm sure could be worth putting to people there. A reminder, I do have a Discord, and the link is in the description. It is open to anyone still at the moment. I say anyone. I don't know why people are interested in stuff that's not what we're doing here would want to, but you can, yeah. I'm really not sure about that. I don't know how you mess with like how these packs appear. That could be a forum question for sure. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's get back to this break, shall we? But yeah, like those are my. Where else have I seen? I know that Fab Filter are doing 25% off, which is pretty good. They don't do sales very often. If you've got your eyes on Pro Q or any of the other stuff on there, any Fab Filter users here? I've never used them, and I do Lost After Pro Q occasionally. I tell you who I do really rate and whose plugins I would like to get more of are Ook Sounds. I don't know if they're having a sale at the moment. They do this cool rent to own though, which is really good. I was interested in this Bloom. I thought this could be good on samples and stuff, for really manipulating stuff. Arturia are the other ones. Pigments is super cheap right now, and out of Serum, Diva, and Pigments, I'm really enjoying Pigments. I'm loving the harmonic and the other weird oscillator type that it's got. That's like almost like a collision. Mm-hmm. I know that people have used it, like rave about it, and I guess if you're mixing and stuff, I would like to try it. I tell you who else I love is like Soundtoys, and I don't know if they got a sale on at the moment. Just have a look. Oh, they have. Yeah. I would highly recommend their stuff. I still use it all the time, and their Black Friday bundles are pretty good. I think I managed to get the full Soundtoys 5 for like, 100 or very reasonable offer, as I already owned some of the stuff. So Soundtoys are quite good in that if you can get like their plug-in deals when they're doing them, and you can get something quite cheap, and then you can get another thing quite cheap a bit further down the line, then they usually stack these really cool deals if you own the products already, and you can end up with like a really good deal for the full suite of devices. Bruxisma, this is a very good point. The kind of dynamic EQ. I didn't know about the spectral mode. I'll tell you what else I like the look of is that it's got the chaining, you can chain the devices so you can see the spectrum of like another channel in the EQ you're using on another channel. They have a better term for that. Rimshot. They have a better term for that as to what they call that system where the plugins are chained. But yeah, Soundtoys are great. Really, really big fan of them. That sounds cool. I like the sound of that spectral feature. I don't know if you hear. Oh, they do. They do. Okay, that's a steal on Diva, and I bought it at full price. I should have waited. If you don't own that, I would like unreservedly recommend that. Diva, Serum, Pigments. If you can afford all three of them, it might be controversial, but they do sound better than the stock stuff. They do. You can do anything with the stock stuff. but like quality of sound, it's like Diva sounds amazing. It really does. Every time I open it, I'm like, this really sounds like I've got my MS-20 out or something. I'm a big fan. Thanks, Brooks Sisma. Slightly cheaper on Plug and Boutique. I should have waited. I want this thing, Satin. I'm in the market for a tape emulation that that isn't just a single model, but it does various. It does essentially like this, where you can model different tape machines and different eras, different so forth. I know that Universal Audio do one stuff, but Satin, I was drawn to the fact you could change the age and the speed. Yep, the tape style. Essentially you got a lot of different options, because I love the way drums sound when they all go into tape emulation, a tape emulation. Lots of good stuff out there, and what about Synapse Audio? That's another one. Any Synapse Audio deals? Okay, they've got a new synth out, but look a bit Proxima. I've played with June 3. I really enjoyed June 3. Is it Proxima? Legend. Caden YT. I thought for a long time, I was I don't believe you. You definitely do not need any of these tools to make music at all. Really, you don't. There's so much you could just use as samples, samples anyway. And things like analog and operator, wavetable, they're still great. Like wavetable and operator particularly. And also drift and the other one, the bitombral one. What's that called? The latest one they added. That's really good. I've really enjoyed using that. But like for I think something like Diva really does sound close to like a piece of gear, and the fact you can like switch between the different modules from different equipment, and when you get like a sequencer on it or something, it's amazing. It sounds really, really great, especially when you're like driving the resonance and the filtering, all that stuff. Things that if you did that on analog, it would just not sound it would not sound as good. Meld, thank you. Yeah. Meld's really cool. Caden, I think it's a balance between both. I think I'm quite I keep a tight lid on adding stuff to my setup because I don't want it to just sit as an unused plugin. And so yeah, I'm with you on that, and I would like. I think if you've got something like Serum anyway, and I talk about like I'm an expert in these, but I definitely am not, because I've only just got them myself. But just from like initial use of them and stuff, they sound legit. I have I've used some of the things like a Juno and some like original. Like I have an MS-20 recreation, and you can definitely hear the difference between that and something like Ableton's analog. But Diva sounds really good, really, really good. It does sound comparable. I think there's a good Martin Sturzer video he did where he played his mini Moog and then switched between that and Diva across like 15 minutes without showing what's going on. And yeah, it's difficult to hear the difference. I couldn't tell. I think you definitely don't. I think you could get away with like FabFilter if you're why did I get these things? Why did I get Serum? Why did I get Diva? I'm not sure. Probably because I was probably experiencing the same thing you are. I'd say that's there's always something new to get. There's always a new piece of equipment, and really every producer could benefit from the mantra of like they've probably already got it, and they it's what you do with what you've got, rather than me included, every other producer included, I think would say the same thing. Oh yeah, is that good? The Korg Trinity. I was looking at the Korg Wave Station or the M1. But I know because I've just got Pigments and I've just got Diva. I was like, I can't buy. I've got to put a lid on it. I'd say if you're doing a lot of mixing, of your own mixing, then maybe something like FabFilter, like the Pro Q4, would be good, right? But if you're not, then I wouldn't worry about it. And you can do a lot with EQ8 anyway, and other EQs out there. If you're mixing a lot of your own stuff, then it is good to have a really solid EQ, a solid compressor, solid saturator. The basics of that you can well and you trust, and like, is it going to help you finish more music? Is it going to help you write more music? Or like, and if you're not really bothered about writing music, are you going to enjoy messing with it and playing with it? How long until you buy something new? I'd say you're probably fine then, Gaydon, without getting Pro Q4. You'd probably wouldn't miss it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a collaboration thing. And for me, like sometimes with EQ8, like I don't like the way, it can struggle with surgical stuff, and that bothers me sometimes. I also don't necessarily like it would be great if it had a dynamic mode and stuff like this, features that FabFilter has. But it is really good. It is really good. I wish it cut things better sometimes. Particularly if there's like a problem where there's a signal with a load of like inaudible bottom end, where there's been something's gone wrong with the recording or whatever. Yo, Grace. Yeah, don't worry. If you're mixing making good music is more important than knowing how to mix it. Barky Optics, yeah. No, I am interested. Is the sale still on Korg? So coming back to this is what we have a kick. We might as well try and get the hi-hat working. Don't know how I feel about the snare. It's not the best. Yeah, I feel like it's more of a shuffle there anyway that's being played on here. Might be nice as like a ghost snare. We need a bigger snare. What's this one got? I don't know, something like that. That's a bit. Gonna probably be a bit. Speed the tempo. So something like that, I might be tempted to. It's got a nice little shuffle there. It might not be the snare that we use, but the shuffle. Okay, we'll just leave that like. That's got that nice. Again, I'm probably just gonna. What we got on this cold grits? I need a snare. There are some snares later on. It can be overwhelming doing stuff like this because you don't know if you're missing good stuff or you're worried about, you feel like there's a need to include every single hit. Okay, cool. Don't think I like that pattern. Which one's this? That's a good one to start with. Mr. Grooves, 100%. I kind of hopefully we'll come on to that because what I did with this mutant break here with this, well, they're all mutants, but what I did here was I took a snare and like resampled it through like raw. And then I thought of you, Mr. Grooves, because I just chucked it in a simpler and then chopped it, like just did the slicing and then added these little fills on it, you know. Cool. Nice. Yeah, so she would do that in a minute. Yes, I love some randomness. I think it's like using that randomness in. I love the idea. There's a sweet spot between like complete chaos and beautifully crafted jungle, for instance. You know, if I don't know if anyone was on that Facebook group, if it's still going, but you know, the idea of like kind of curated chaos in a way is quite appealing to me. I think a lot of people obviously like do the generative stuff and glitchy stuff, is that you can temper this stuff to have some kind of like emotional meaning or coherence. Cool, all right. We've got this little like ghost snare thing there. That's the wrong snare. This is obviously raw at the moment. that is too loud. That I don't think that'll work as a shuffle. That unless I sculpt it quite a lot. Like just do some like these ones here. I'm just gonna, what are they on? I used to love those Magic Eye pictures. Absolutely. It's just like you've got like, I think it's about your ear, isn't it? It's like knowing when something good is happening, or knowing when something that resonates with you is happening. I think that's more important because, you know. Okay, we've got like a nice kind of two-step pattern there. And it's what we want to do with this. God, that's loud. No, we don't want you. Was it this one? Okay, oh, there'll be some good stuff in this. This is nice. Oh no. I'm going to try and isolate a bit of this if I can. But I know this sounds like a car crash at the moment, but bear with me. Okay. So one thing that's cool, it can be quite good to like isolate the different channels using a utility. You get like different flavors. There's definitely more like overheads in that second one. In the right side. Okay, so I love this little thing. Yeah, it's a good trick. I often spend a lot of time just drawing in velocities, and actually now I just type them, you know, often. Okay, we'll get back to that. I'll just finish this section. Really like this. This is Re-Enveloper, Max for Live device. You can isolate all these parts so that, you know, it's a compressor and an expander, multi-band. It's great for like manipulating audio in weird ways. Got this like mid section here. Weird stuff like this, right? And as you turn it around, it moves the compression from expansion. Got this like symbol up here. Okay, so interesting what we've pulled out from there. Another thing I use is this audio ducker. This is Groove Mechanic Audio. It's essentially like a sidechain compressor, but more accurate. I'm going to sidechain this to the kick on our drums. Which is it? This one. We'll do it pre-effects. Or maybe I'll even do it to the snare. Which one's the snare? Okay, maybe the kick again. I might do both, kick and the snare. Okay, maybe not usable, but you kind of get the idea. It's pretty cool. Maybe start it somewhere different. That's quite cool. I feel like you'd probably want to... I just start to follow my nose a bit at this point. And how are we doing for time? We're good. We've got like 45 minutes left. So duplicate. I'm just going to duplicate that because I can hear like different things in both of these that I like. Right, in this, that's quite, maybe in, we've got like a shuffle. That, I've just quantized it. It's quite annoying when Ableton. Let me just want to drag a curve, man. To do it. Not great for doing that. Okay. You can hear what I'm after here. This is what I spend a lot of my time doing. Oh, I don't want the track. I've just done it on the wrong thing. Forgive me. The gain. Yeah, it's there are glitches and stuff. Animus, how are we doing? Just picking up the Isotonic sale. Animus, the Isotonic Black Friday sale. So stuff like that could be cool. Like a weird textural thing, you know. Yeah. All right, let's resample that. Sick. So we should add some bits, shouldn't we? Okay, I feel like we just want the snare of this for now. You see what I mean though? We're starting to get something forming now. This is where it gets interesting. And why kind of having this slightly chaotic process is just the only way for me to do it right now, because I like stumble on these happy accidents. And like we were saying a moment ago or not too long ago about, like, you know, it's knowing when you've that's something good, that's something interesting. That's kind of what being an artist or musician is all about. I feel like I want this here. Yeah, liking that. Nice little shuffle here. Don't know, something like that. Maybe we could make that work. Warp that. Yeah. Interesting, that one. You still got a lot of that ring from that snare in there. You can hear it. So we might be able to do something to isolate it a little bit. I don't know what's it like on left. Whoa, weighty. Okay, that's a bit better, isn't it? That's got a nice little shuffle. That's fine. Interesting. Cool. And this re-enveloper. I use this. This is so powerful. I love using this. Cool, because you can just start. We could just boost the volume afterwards. Interesting. Yeah, you get. It's like a multi-band envelope transient shaper. Sometimes with the shuffles, yeah, it does sound cool when you like distort them, but I'm not going to do that here. I don't think. Not that, for instance. tempted to like do all of the shuffly bits. It's a bit mad, but I'm going to try that because they're slightly out of time. Yeah. That's kind of there. Animus, yes, I have tried GM Audio Squeeze and yeah, really sick. I love all the GM Audio stuff actually, and the Clipper I've used a load on this as well, on like the snares and stuff. See, this at this point I might be tempted to turn this into audio just to like make it tighter, because it does sound a little bit out of tune. Like what I might not do actually end up doing is like resampling this tonight, and I might just come back to it tomorrow or something like that. But it's working nicely with these shuffles. Need to resample this. Thank you. Yeah, really love the GM Audio Docker, GM Audio Squeeze, GM Audio Clipper. Really, really nice stuff. Yeah, thanks, Animus. I'll normalize this now. Interesting. I guess that's what I'm trying to make it a bit more mutated, as in something weird, you know. not bad. Come on. Love that. That's sick too. These will be just like really interesting bits of percussion. I think I will get to synthesize stuff at some point. I think I put a bit of a limitation on myself that I was just gonna work with audio samples. As much as I want, I've been a lot like desperate to drag in stuff and been like, no, I'm trying to stick to just audio stuff. Okay, that's pretty cool. What else can we pull out of this? We're doing some interesting. Amazing what you can do just like with some filtering. What else we got in these distortion models? Bit too much, maybe. That's cool. That. Mr. Grooves, that is, I think, like, that is something to come to later on. And also, I'd love to make everything from scratch. I say from scratch. I mean, I'm kind of stealing people's stuff here, but you know what I mean. Whoa. What's going on here, man? That's not right. Why's that? Okay, sorry. Nice. Like that. See that's a good example of this EQ thing where like you got this like ground hum thing there or whatever that is, right? And if I get rid of this now, you'll still see it on the. Okay, no, you won't actually. That's probably fine. All right. I'm just going to do a bit more processing and then I'll just sample some of these previous mutants that I was showing you earlier on. Nice one, Mr. Grooves. Godspeed. Get home safe. These shuffles are nice. I'd say they're happening at the wrong time at the moment, but it's okay. Resample that. Thanks, Animus. Yeah, that's just with the audio Docker. Don't need that much, but could be cool as like a little add-in at points, you know? I don't know if I'd have it there the whole time. Like just bringing that in at points. Right. Kick. I love curves EQ. I love reshaper, but I'm also going to use, I think I've even saved this as a channel strip. So we've got various stuff on here. I want to do this Oxford involution, which is like a transient shaper really. I've already shown you. We'll do this EQ first. So the kick is hitting about Animus, it's good you're on because you're good with this stuff. It's like 70 hertz or something. Yeah, about 70 hertz. So I'm going to kind of boost it around 80. Well, you don't need to have a spectral analyzer. You can kind of hear it. And then I might like sculpt that a bit with the release and the decay. And then I'll see if I can. You can hear it. I love this EQ. Another, this is Mono. Like just a compressor, channel strip compressor from like the emulation of like a Neve desk, I think. Just isolate this kick a bit. Nice. You can hear this with and without this EQ. Nice. Got quite a lot of top end on this though, like. I might be tempted to. We will compress it anyway, why the hell not? Okay, so really fast attack, slow release. You can hear it happening. Boost that makeup. I mean, that is quite compressed really now, isn't it? Nice, and then maybe we can distort it. Okay, sorry, it's a bit much. This is quite cool, this dirty tape from Softtube. I don't know what that's like. That's a nice snare, that. What I would like is some reverb. So I'm just going to add some effects chains here. We'll go with like... Okay. These are going to be going to our... I like using a blend of reverbs, you see. So really into the Soundtoys. Well, why don't we put Space Blender on like one of them? That could be cool. Parallax reverb. If I got it here, it might not have it on this machine. I think it could be on my old computer. Tell you what, I'm going to download. It's on Izotope, isn't it? I'm going to download it. So this is from... Is it Animus Invidious that you... Is that what your developer name is as well? Give me a minute, let me get it. Let's roll out a bit. Okay. Perf module, thank you, yes. Hey, here we go. Available on Izotope, folks. Perform module, loads of really interesting, cool Ableton native effects from Perform module. I love the... What are the one knob, the single knob ones are like, there's like a very limited palette of them. What are they called? Just looking through my library. It's not the emphasizers, is it? No. Yes. No, it's not them. Turbo encabulation, they're the ones I like. One Knob Wonders, yeah, they're brilliant. But yeah, like when I changed machine, like I didn't update. You know, it's very difficult to ensure one has updated everything. Right, let's. Oh, Animus, right. Someone was asking earlier on, they were saying that they couldn't see third-party packs here. Do you know why that might be? They were saying they could see all the Ableton ones. Brooke Sisma was the person that was asking. They might still be on. We'll go with analog and digital. But do you know why that might be? Why you can only see, why it's not showing up? Like, for instance, if they downloaded this, they wouldn't 30% off on Isotonic Studios for this, I should say. Do you know why that might be? Okay, we'll just roll with those for now. We've got the digital and the... Great. Sick, it's already done it. Yep, brilliant. Yeah. I never have a problem with, for instance, with this one that I've just, with yours that I just downloaded. That's just installed fine and is in my packs now, you know, in my library. Yeah, that's what I said. I had no idea, to be honest. So this is the analog, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, and that's digital, I'm pretty sure. So it's something short. Nice. You can do so much with reverb, like sculpting the space. Nice. Let's do that, some processing on these. These are a bit mental, these hats. What I'm going to do is use a sidechain on this, actually. See what we did here. Just have it on both. It's pretty cool. What the kind of effects this gives. That's cool. Animus, please do. Always. Okay, should we do this one into like the digital? I don't know why Ableton does this now. It's really annoying. I'm sure you used to be able to just hear the sends. That's cool. This is called a psychic gate. Yeah. Nice. Nice. It sounded cool. I love the tunability and like the surface material, which I think is coming from like Corpus or something, right? The space blend is pretty cool as well. Let's just focus on these, on the two. We've got the paradox. I mean that's there, I think, isn't it? Really, but like you could probably do a bit more to sculpt that, and like at this point, I would probably we've got these these shuffle things going on as well. We'll just put those here. Didn't use the bongos in the end. Future Machines. Yeah, Animus. I'm a huge fan of like I'll often have 3, 4, 5 reverbs of different qualities, and. And I find it's just a great way, like you say, to make it like a unique space. We could do something interesting with this. Yeah. I'm a reverb addict. It comes from my choir boy days, I think. That's a nice snare, that. Really cool. What's Raw got? Raw has some good stuff. I have to be a bit careful here. This one? Yeah, like that. It's exactly the kind of thing I want. And now I would probably like go to embellish this a bit more. Like we could drop this, you know, and add some more kicks in and stuff. All right, yeah. Love that sound, that's cool. You get the fit. Well, I think we got the beginnings of something there, haven't we? Along with these bits here. Really love that sound. Yeah. You can hear what's happening there with this thing as well, like the audio ducker. I'll tell you what it is. It's because the kick has already got a hat on it, yeah? So that's got a hat on it. What am I doing here? Yeah, cool. If you got that shuffle going like every time here. Yeah, I like it. So I did say I was going to resample some stuff, but I think we probably run out of time for that. I just put them in twisted wave, sample 8-bar loops, really, and quite a few different variations of them. So I think that's something we'll come on to next time, because I feel like it's probably time to draw things to a close now. I'm pretty happy with this. So I didn't just stop this for a sec. I didn't actually end up doing any kind of group processing on here, but that's something I would definitely come to next. Maybe I will save it for this one, or I can talk you guys through it next time I open the project and work on it live. But you know, it's really like any kind of drum bus processing or mastering, but you can just be a bit more heavy-handed, you know, because the idea is it's going to be a sample, you know. So we've kind of got that here on these breaks. And And like listening back to these, for instance, now they're quite toppy to me. They sound quite toppy, these breaks, you know. But my aim is just to keep going and not to kind of get too bogged down in processing the same thing over and over again. And I think the fun will come as I've built up lots of these channels and kind of maybe go back and revisit them and resample stuff and streamline it a bit, so I can start to combine all the different elements together to just get more proliferations, which will be really interesting, you know. Because we've already got with this shuffle going on here, for instance, we just made this evening. And you can, of course, just take elements from... We could take the kicks out. Take the snares out, apart from that cool one at the end, which is sick. For instance, that's... Yeah, just like so... As you start to kind of... I think for a while, like after 1, 2, and I got to the third mutant break in this session, I was a bit like, God, this is pretty hard going. But then I knew that I just had to carry on. I knew that I had to just carry on and keep grinding, because I knew at some point I'd be like, this is taking too long doing it this way. I need to try this different thing instead, which is when I started to just put them in drum racks. Put the sounds in drum racks. And then, of course, I was like, oh, well, actually, I'm hearing some interesting stuff in that break, but it's not going to work if I chop it up hit by hit. So I need to just like take out the audio and do what we did with this Curtis Mayfield break here. And like, I'll probably resample that now, actually, because we didn't get that because we had the GM audio ducker being triggered by the breaks in the thing. So we'd take that. Great, so we've got like hang on, no, didn't want to do that one, just wanted to record this. Let's do that again. Perfect. But again, with all of this stuff, you know, you don't really know where you're going to end up unless you make the journey yourself. You know, you've kind of got to go through this process to solve the problems in the way that's going to work for you and that is kind of unique to how you like to work. And unfortunately, it's a bit of a grind sometimes, because you're kind of doing something you've never done before, and that's not necessarily like really well documented by other people as to how it is done. So, but I think we've got a strong foundation to work with here. At this point, I would group all these things together, right, like this, before I save the project. We didn't export anything, that was the aim. But I'll probably work on this tomorrow morning, to be honest. So Mutant 8, great, we've got like 8 breaks, okay? If ideally I want to get to like 50 by next year, so if you could get 50, like, yeah, my goodness, that would be great. And they're all saved in here now. They're pretty good. Alright, we'll close that and we'll save it. Hope you've enjoyed, folks. Thanks to all my patrons and supporters. Appreciate you. Thanks to my newest patrons. Shouted out at the beginning. I'm going to sign off now. Have a good evening. Have a good rest of the day wherever you are. And I will see you next week. Next week is track feedback live stream with George grooving in G on Thursday, and I aim to go live on Wednesday as well if I can. So, all right, have a good one, folks. Thanks so much. I'll see you around.